hello, welcome back to one of Steve's walks. I think that's the title I've decided to settle on. Now, the place might look familiar because I was here last year. As I say, I wanted to do Haystacks but didn't actually get around to doing it because I was a bit knackered after High Still and High Crag. So, yeah, today I'm back to do Haystacks. I may do the one up there, I can't remember the name, but it's that one there. Forget the name, I'll probably put it on screen. Obviously there's Haystacks, and as I said, it's same route as before, where the trees are. Instead of turning right like I did last year, turn left and head up the path, and yeah, past Seat, and then there's a scramble up that pass, and then Haystacks, and then I'll just take you down to hopefully the quarry. So yeah, there we go, back again. Hopefully I won't change my mind when I get to the intersection by the trees, but let's see how we're doing. As you can see, I'm starting to hover above the bridge. I'm not gaining height. I'm actually using my DJI Neo Drone, which is it's pretty much the first time I've used it on a walk. At this moment in time, I was limited to just using my iPhone 8, so I couldn't really go any higher than about 30 meters or so. Can't remember the exact height, but yeah, that's it. I find it looks impressive, and yeah, the footage isn't too bad. I think the Mini, the DJI Mini, has probably got much better 4K video. Not even sure if this is 1K or HD or 1080 or whatever, but it's just I bought it just to get used to a drone. As you can see, there's a couple of other guys on the bridge with us, and they've actually got the proper drone, a DJI Mini. So it's just quite strange. You go all this way to the Lake District, and then there's two people playing with drones. But yeah, here we are taking the view, and what I'll do throughout the walk, I'll just do a few drone shots, and and see if you enjoy them or not. And it's a bit of a pano, not the smoothest of panoramic view there, but yeah, you can see the path ahead. Obviously, that path on the left-hand side then takes you around the lake. You can see the car park or the area of the farm where I've just come from, and there's Fleetwood Pike and Haystacks and all the other bits in front. So onward, and I'll start to move towards that block of trees in a minute. One of the features of the DJI Neo is its sort of built-in sort of AI tools or AI control, not so much tools. Now I just pressed the button and started it off, and I can't remember if this was the droney shot or the rocket. I think the rocket goes straight up much quicker, so this one's just like a revolving drone shot. And as you can see, what goes up must come down. So there you go. Yeah, not the quickest, but yeah, it's just a nice effect. Yeah. Pity the end view isn't so spectacular. It's just me sweating after climbing a short hill, and there we go. And you can see the proper view from it once I control it via my phone. And yeah, there's the bridge, I think, just about to come into view. Oh no, it's just off the screen at the moment. There you go. It's a nice gentle climb, but yeah, I was quite pleased with that. I'm primarily a stills photographer rather than somebody who does lots of drone footage, but I thought I'd have a quick look at what the stills are like, and they're okay. The quality is a bit poor, but then again, this is just, I say, cheap drone, and yeah, it was just for my initial testing. I think maybe next time I might go for something a bit better spec, but at this moment in time, it's a cheapish drone, so if I do fly it into a lake accidentally, yeah, it's not so bad. It's not lost 300 to 400 quid, which is the worry when you start messing around with drones. I mean, I could alternatively not fly it near water, but what's the fun in that, eh? Back to the sort of GoPro footage now. So the quality is a little bit better, as you can tell. It's a 4K GoPro Hero 10, I believe, and whilst it has its problems with overheating and just battery life, I think is generally terrible. The sensor is actually not so bad, but yeah, here we go, a bit of a walk, and so yeah, there's going to be a mixture of drone footage and GoPro footage throughout the video. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to tell the difference. It was quite close to this point that I realised I actually forgot to plug my radio microphone in, so here you go. There we have Haystacks. I think I'm pretty much at a gap up there in the middle of the screen now. I think is where I gave up last time. But yeah, woods and upwards. It's only 9:30. Sorry, 10 to 10. Time's moved quick. So I've got plenty of time, plenty of daylight. So I am knackered because I've got a cold. But we'll see how I go. Obviously Haystacks, I've come this way, come this far, so I might as well carry on to the top. Every few footsteps there's a different view. It's just spectacular. What I managed to do is I managed to pick a really sort of quiet day. There wasn't many people in the lakes, and the wind was behaving itself. And bearing in mind this drone is the size of pretty much a Game Boy Advance or whatever. It is really tiny. But yeah, it wasn't being blown around in the wind. Even when I took it up as high as I possibly could on one of the hills a bit later on, I was really surprised how good it was, how good the footage was. I'm guessing the next time I go to the lakes it should be a big gale force winds, but yeah, I was really impressed. Now there isn't any sound with the drone footage because it was meant to be recording off the phone, and sometimes that's a bit muffled and not brilliant. But I think at this point I'm just in between seat, which is just coming into the view now, and directly behind me is the route up to Haystacks. As you can see, there's some sort of zigzagged sort of route up to the top there. It's not exactly clear, but yeah, there are some pathways up there. You can see them just coming into from the right hand side now, maybe heading towards the middle. There's a bit of a sort of zigzag there, and you sort of make your way up to the top that way. And these are a few stills again. Find the quality as I went a bit higher up tend to be a bit better. The haziness of the sort of hills probably sort of helped, really, to be perfectly honest with you. So the fine detail isn't there, but it wasn't there because it was quite a sort of hazy day. But here you go. There's time to hover back down to me. So a little bit further up Haystacks now. It's peaceful. There's only a few other people up there. There's 2 walkers behind me, and there's about 6 ahead of me. So let's have a bit of a scramble up here for a bit. Oh. Apologies for the heavy breathing. seems to be a different couple of ways up here. This one needs a bit of a climb up. Oh yes. Oh, that's enough of my heavy breathing. Again, more peace and quiet, almost at the summit. You see that bit of metal rod or whatever it is? That's Haystacks. A couple of minutes I would have climbed it, so yeah. One more ticked off the list. That's enough of the heavy breathing. I'm sure you didn't watch this video for that. But here we are towards the top of Haystacks, and one of the smaller tarns. I can't remember if this is the one that's not named or not. Because Inanimate Tarn is the sort of the bigger one further down where Wainwright's ashes were scattered. But yeah, this must be close to the top because I'm sure there were metal posts, and I went and touched as many of them I could. But yeah, quite a good view from the top of Haystacks. Again, as I say, even though I'm this high up, there was very little wind, and yeah, as I said, it's remarkable how calm it was for this drone. But yeah, a few stills coming up now. And again, yeah, I think they're okay. They're perfectly good. They're good, almost just you wouldn't enter into any photographic competitions, but I think they are fine. Eventually figured out how to pan the camera on the drone. Only joking, I did work that out. But sometimes when you're on a phone, it's a little bit tricky to do. And one of the things they do tell you on the DJI app and the website is not to use or not to hover over water. Because of, you don't want to lose your drone. But here we are a little bit later on at Inanimate Tarn, and I'm going to do exactly what they tell us not to do and decide to fly over the water a little bit. And there's another walker. I was a little bit conscious because this drone is quite noisy, and this is a really peaceful place, and obviously here I am disturbing the peace with this noisy little thing. So yeah, I tried to do it when there was nobody around, but obviously this is the Lake District. There's going to be lots and lots of walkers somewhere. I mean, I said it wasn't that many people, but enough for me to be a little bit conscious about annoying people with the drone. Although I do like the solitary nature of walking in the Lake District, I do chat to people occasionally if they're there. It's always nice to see other fellow humans struggling up the hills. Actually, no, I was the only one struggling. As you can probably hear, it's really peaceful, apart from me speaking now. But you can probably see why Rainwright wanted to be buried here, or actually scattered. It's a really peaceful place. So people could come along here and, apart from when I'm turning it with my drone, have a nice, peaceful, quiet time. Apologies to everybody that I inconvenienced. The view a little bit further down from Inanimate Tarn, say, is just spectacular. It's one of those paths you just, every time you walk, you discover another view, another vista. It's just superb. Yeah, I'll shut up now because you can just take in the view. It's just wonderful. I know I've only come down a few more steps, but the view is even more impressive when you get down here. And people who don't like heights, they could fall off that quite easily. But it's just a beautiful path. I think where you can see some people climbing up there, I think they've got to go over those hills initially, then down, and that breaks you down to the path that takes you down to Gatesgarth Farm. Again, hopefully that's the way, but we shall see. As you can see, I've made it to the Boffey at the slate mine, or the abandoned slate mine. I'm just thinking Fleetwood Pike it's not too far up there. Not that one in the clouds. I think you can just see the peak of it. See if I can get my finger in the right position. I think it's about there. Little cairn right on top. Yeah, I mean, I'm that close, I might as well do it. We'll see. I do feel terrible, my throat's terrible, my chest is... I can't cough, and every time I cough it really hurts my throat. So I've got some soothers. I don't know if they're doing any good or not, but we'll see. Oh. I can imagine this Boffey is a welcome relief for people who are walking and people who may be wild camping or whatever. It's it's basic. You've got a double bed there. You could probably sleep about 6 on that. And what most people do on Boffies, they leave little bits behind. Obviously, I'm not stopping, so I'm not going to. You got yourself a knot foodle. And the Boffey book, there's no pencil or pen. Oh, there is a pen. I might say my name. Oh, I don't know. Anyway. Toilet code. Always wanted to know what walkers are meant to do when they need to take a dump. There's your answer. That's probably why a load of them carry spades. Myself, I had a different tactic. I loaded up with such a large breakfast that I actually didn't have any room left. So my intestine did its job and, cleared itself out. Anyway, what's the time? It's 25 to 2. Obviously, light will start fading about 3:30, so I might just see if I can, how far I get in 20 minutes up that hill. If I ain't going to get very far, I might come back because I don't particularly want to walk down the hills in the dark. I mean, it won't get dark straight away. There'll be probably to about 5 o'clock, so I've got to probably to about 4:30, 5 before it starts to get really unpleasant and you can't see. Anyway, enough of the yakking. I'll get on with the walking, hopefully. Bye bye, Boffy. There's the Boffy hut around that area. Right, made it to the top of Fleetwood Pike. I think that's the pronunciation. I can't be bothered to get the map out of my bag, so I'm not going to send the drone up because it's not windy, but if it goes, the wind does catch it, and yeah, you can't really see much. I don't particularly want to go running after it because I'm absolutely shattered. Yeah, there's Buttermere below, and yeah, just got to figure out the way to get down now. There's two ways of getting down. I might go back down the way I just came up. There is a steeper sort of way just down off the edge of the cliff there. It's not that bad, but I don't want to think too challenging, so although I'm knackered, the actual walk back to the quarry will probably take me 20 minutes because it's downhill. So yeah, there we go. That's Fleetwood Pike. Another Wainwright ticked off the list. So there's some others around here as well, but obviously the mist is closing in, so I suppose it's a good idea to get off the mountain as the weather's getting worse and the daylight's getting a lot shorter. So yeah, see you on the way down. So that was the end of day one. Yeah, made it to the top of Fleetwood Pike and was very, very shattered. So made it back down just before it got dark, and it went dark quite quick. I was actually more shattered than I thought I was going to be. So, yep, that's it for day one. And here's day two, where I basically decided against going on any more climbing and decided I wanted to go to one of my favourite places in the world, which is Wastwater. At this point, I decided to climb on this little bit of an island and test the sort of circle feature of the drone. It did quite well, apart from I think it didn't quite cope with the height difference, and I was a little bit worried as it was coming in that it was going to hit a rock and fall into the water. I should have probably put it up with a little bit more height, because what it does the circle, then it comes back to you. What you missed is as it's coming back in, it decides it's just going to sort of park itself on the bank, which is fine. Again, this is as high as I could get, but as you can see, Wastwater, or Wastwater, it's pronounced different ways, is yeah, a really, really peaceful place. A few cars, a few dog walkers actually, which is quite surprising. But yeah, a really lovely place to be. And yeah, it doesn't really matter what the weather is, what the weather's doing. I was fortunate again, it was another still day, a little bit of sort of low cloud, so fortunately my drone couldn't climb that high, so yeah, it didn't really matter. But yeah, it's just a stunning, stunning landscape. In the distance, you probably can't see because in the clouds, is Scorefell Pike, and yeah, and there's apparently a nice pub at the end of this lake. I'm sure I went there once, going back a few years. There's a bit of a nodding of the camera there, but yeah, a bit of drone testing coming up. I'd say it's my first experience with a drone. I've never even looked at one before, really, and I've basically picked it up reasonably cheap. I think the normal retail price is about £170 for the Neo. I had some vouchers from a sort of workplace sort of purchase scheme place, and I managed to get it for about £140, which is yeah, I find it's quite good. As I said, I found the remote control via the iPhone 8 pretty much quite frustrating because the iPhone 8 had a quite a small screen. I have subsequently upgraded to an iPhone 15, but also decided that I didn't particularly like using the phone, so I put the remote control, the one we got plug your phone into. I can't remember the model, but I didn't have it at this point. But yeah, it's quite nice. I found the iPhone app. And I think apps in general on the mobile phone is a little bit jerky because of the way you're using a screen to control the movements of the drone rather than actually a joystick. But yeah, I was quite pleased with it. It got some reasonably okay results for me. And talking of okay results, those stepping stones, I managed to mostly make it across without getting my foot soaked. But the ones I got over once, no problem. Getting back, the little ones, you can just see the other side of the pipe there, I managed to slip off one and get my foot soaked. So that was about my third change of socks for the day. Here's another quiet place. It's not actually a walk, really. I just drove down the Winos Pass to, again, it's a lovely road. I wouldn't want to do it in the winter, because especially unless you've got a 4x4. But again, it's a really, really peaceful road, and not many people go on it because it is quite steep. And you don't particularly want to meet other cars coming down the hill. I was hoping to try and capture some footage of myself coming down the hill, but I had no way of securing the GoPro, and my car's dash cam isn't really great quality, so I didn't want to include it on here. But yeah, a lovely view. And again, I picked a couple of good days where there was no wind. I was really, really surprised. I've subsequently used the drone locally here in the Midlands, and a slight wind of 5-6 mile an hour. You start getting warnings when you get up to about 60 or 70 meters. But yeah, I said I was very, very lucky, which is nice. Here's a view this time just over the hill to the Hard Nose Pass. Or was it Wino? Yeah, so Hard Knot Pass. Again, it's one of those things with the Lake District. You have a reasonably clear valley on the one side, and then you go over the top of a hill, and you're just faced with this mist and fog. But yeah, it's quite impressive, and again, it's quite still. But the drone did a reasonably good job. As you can see, as the drone goes a bit higher, the mist starts to clear a little bit from view. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with this shot. Very impressive. I mean, obviously not the most photogenic, but I do quite like soaring into the mist and clouds. It's a nice effect. This is the content you come for. The Lake District in the clouds. Yep. I think this is going to be my signing off for the video. I'm probably not going to get much more done, and as I do want to head back home to Birmingham now. So anyway, thanks. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching. I don't do many of these walking videos, unfortunately. I need to probably do a few more, but I just like to get away. And obviously, bad timing, as I said a few times for the video. I haven't felt great last few days, so I'm sounding a bit croaky at the moment. But yeah, it's bit of a pain, but that's the way it is. But I've enjoyed myself. I had a nice couple of days in the lakes. So I hope to do it again soon. Okay, bye bye.